Awaken your spirit. 3 miraculous morning prayers for divine protection and manifestation today. In the heart of the quaint English village, Mary's mornings hummed with divine possibility. The sun barely broke the horizon, casting golden rays that danced over the chapel's ancient stones. She gathered her children before the altar, their small hands clasped tightly, chanting fervent prayers that seemed to summon the very heavens. Divine protection, manifest your will upon us. Let our faith shield us like armor from every storm. Their voices soared, intertwining in a chorus of hope. Villagers paused outside, drawn by the urgency of their devotion, feeling the warmth of an unseen light radiate from the chapel. Every day, Mary invoked St. Jude, the saint of desperate cases, hoping for miracles that might transform their lives. One morning, she promised her children 3 powerful prayers. Today, we shall ask for protection, wisdom, and provision. The air crackled, heavy with prayerful expectance. It was an act of faith, a magical circle woven with whispers of reassurance. Yet, as her husband faced the harsh reality of unemployment, doubts cast shadows deeper than any prayer could illuminate. The garden flourished under her hands, but dread festered in her heart. Could my prayers truly bring forth miracles? She pondered, the weight of her family's plight pressing heavily. In a brilliant flash, while tending to her marigolds, an elderly man appeared, a stranger cloaked in wisdom. "Ah, Mary," he said, his eyes sparkling with divine secrets, "many a battle has been won through persistent prayer." His tale swept her into the realm of the miraculous, how faith had led him through storms of despair to shores of abundance. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Yet the weight of struggle pressed on her as neighbors exchanged worried glances. "Have you heard about Mary's troubles?" Murmurs echoed through the village, tainting the air's once pure spirit. Through all of it, her resolve to pray remained a fierce flame flickering against the wind. As the harvest festival drew near, she felt a call to unify her family and community. "If my family is in turmoil, perhaps we are guardians of something larger," she thought. When Sunday dawned, Mary found herself at the chapel again, knelt against cool stone, heart intertwined with hope and fear. She surrendered herself to the whispers of divine guidance. This time, it wasn't just for her family, it was for the village too. A collective faith that could rise against the tide of negativity. Just as she opened her eyes, the sky blushed with soft hues of dawn, igniting something deep within her. With her prayers echoing in the chapel, she turned to the doors, spirits soaring in a flurry of possibility. Would her prayers pave the way to transformation? The day ahead danced before her, full of anticipation. Outside, the world waited, as dawn's first light draped hope across the valley. Of one thing she was sure, her heart, steady and brave against the dust of doubt, signaled the beginning of something miraculous. Would Mary's faith manifest the change she desperately sought? As the anticipation thickened, her question trembled against the dawn. What divine wonder awaited them all? Mary stepped outside, the cool morning air brushing against her skin like a gentle caress. Nature stirred as if aware of her divine quest. She collected her children, their innocence radiating joy, and marveled at the power of prayer that compelled them to unite. "Today we'll call forth our dreams," she announced, her voice ringing with purpose. The children's laughter spilled into the air, a lively melody against the backdrop of rustling leaves. The village buzzed with activity as preparations for the harvest festival unfolded. Colourful banners danced in the wind, and vibrant fruits and vegetables adorned tables. Yet Mary's heart was a world unto itself. The needs of her family echoed loudly within her. Could one woman's faith truly influence a community? As they wandered through the dappled sunlight, Mary listened intently to her children. Their innocent chatter about the festival filled her with warmth, even as a sense of urgency loomed in her spirit. Suddenly her eyes caught a glimpse of the chapel again, standing solemn and steadfast amidst the swirling life. It felt like a beacon, a lighthouse guiding her weary soul. "Let's make our way back to the altar and pray together, my dears," she said, her voice soft but resolute. The children nodded eagerly, their faces glowing with anticipation. Upon returning to the chapel, the atmosphere shifted, charged with expectancy. Mary knelt once more, the cool stone embracing her in sacred silence. She closed her eyes and sought the divine light that coursed through her, willing it to spread to all those connected to her. "St. Jude," she whispered fervently, "grant us the miracles we need. Help us embrace wisdom, protection, and provision." She envisioned the value of communal prayer transcending personal need. Surrounding her, her children joined hands and echoed her pleas, their voices a sweet harmony, mingling with the morning's sacred whispers. As they prayed, it was as though time paused. Glimmers of light flickered in the chapel, awakening a sense of collective faith, an energy vibrating through the walls, dancing with her imploring spirit. "That feels heavenly," one of her children exclaimed, eyes wide, as if witnessing a divine promise unveiled. Mary felt a rush of joy, the kind that surged from deep within, uplifting her soul amidst the uncertainties. How could such simplicity hold such extraordinary power? With that thought, she realized prayer was not merely a desperate cry in the dark, but a refining fire that lit the path ahead. Each invocation held potential. If hope were a seed, then prayer was the nourishment that would allow unfathomable growth. They exited the chapel hand in hand, laughter spilling like sunshine. The village seemed different in that moment, the colors brighter, the people more vibrant. Mary felt invigorated, believing once again in the power of unity and faith. But as the festival approached, the shadows of doubt danced at the periphery of her joy. Would the threads of her fervent prayers weave into something tangible? Would the unfolding day reveal God's plans for them? As the sun climbed higher, bathing the village in divine warmth, Mary's heart whispered a question, lingering in the air like a promise. Could their collective act of faith truly magnify miracles? With each breath, she prepared to witness the unfolding of something beautiful, something extraordinary. Tomorrow, she thought, what revelations await us then? The sun rose in full bloom, casting golden glows over everything it touched. Mary stood at her threshold, her heart singing in tune with the day's promise. It was like the world was holding its breath, waiting for the festival. Today, faith and joy would collide, weaving memories that would last a lifetime. "Let's gather our offerings," Mary suggested, her spirit aflame with excitement. The children scampered to their small playroom, a treasure trove of handmade decorations and simple gifts they had crafted during the weeks leading up to the festival. Each item, infused with love and intention, carried the essence of their dreams. As they prepared, a neighbor, Mrs. Hargrove, strolled by, carrying a basket filled with freshly baked bread. "Good morning, dear Mary. Are you ready for the festival?" Her voice brimmed with eagerness that mirrored Mary's own. "We're ready to call forth our dreams," Mary replied, her eyes sparkling. There was something magical about sharing their hopes, a shared journey that bound them tightly. Together, they moved to the village square, laughter trailing behind them like a comet's tail. The community pulsed with energy, the air thick with anticipation. Mary could see others gathering, families coming together, their hearts open and ready. The marketplace had transformed. It was alive with vibrant colors and boisterous voices. Then she felt it, a shift in the atmosphere, like a soft whisper from heaven. Could there be a hand unseen guiding each soul to this moment? Arriving at the central square, Mary spotted a space adorned with flowers, where prayer flags fluttered gently overhead. This was where they would gather as one to send their intentions skyward. As if prompted divinely, Mary took her children's hands again, pulling them close. Let's pray here, among our neighbors. We share our dreams today, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us, she declared, a sense of unity rising within her. The children nodded in earnest, and soon clusters of neighbors formed a circle, each participant eager to join in. Mary felt warmth envelop her heart. The people's voices began to meld, a gentle hum of desires and thanksgiving, flooding the air with powerful requests. "Lord, grant us joy and laughter in our hearts," she articulated aloud. "Bring peace and provision to our homes," she shared freely, and the crowd echoed her words, rising higher with each repetition. Suddenly a rustle caught her attention. Mary turned her gaze toward the center of the square, where a traveling musician had begun to play a joyful tune. It sparked a wave of movement. A spontaneous dance erupted, feet thumping joyfully against the cobblestones, a rhythm pulsing with celestial celebration. Mary's heart soared. How often do we let joy lead us? The music resonated within her, igniting her belief that miracles were indeed within reach. Was this the divine affirmation she longed for? As the laughter and dance unfolded, a mysterious man appeared at the edge of the square, observing with keen eyes. He bore a serene smile, radiating an aura of peace that drew Mary's attention. What was it about him that felt so familiar? With a deep joy bubbling in her heart, she felt an undeniable urge to approach him. The festival was alive, but there was something about this man that she needed to understand. What truth lies ahead as we step into this vibrant day? She wondered, her spirit ignited by a sense of divine connection. The unfolding moments promised more than she could yet comprehend. With the music playing and dreams dancing in the air, she knew she was on the brink of something profound. What will this festival reveal? She breathed under her breath, heart racing with anticipation. Mary took a hesitant step toward the man, drawn by an unseen thread that connected them. In the swirling crowd around her, the joyful melodies created a cocoon of warmth. Yet here was a stillness that beckoned her closer. His smile deepened as their eyes locked, and for a moment it felt as if time had slowed. "Excuse me," she began, her voice shaky yet determined. "You seem familiar." The man's eyes twinkled like the morning sun. "I believe we all carry a piece of each other within us," he replied, his tone gentle and wise. "In moments like this, the soul remembers." "What do you mean?" The question slipped from her lips, eager for understanding. Every smile, every shared dream today becomes part of a greater tapestry woven by faith. You stand here, surrounded by hope and laughter, yet there's more beyond what you see. He gestured with a slender hand toward the dancing villagers. You're on the verge of discovering a gift that can transform your life. Mary's heart quickened. Transformation could come through love, unity, and joy, but what this man hinted at felt deeper. She had come seeking connection, not just with her neighbors, but with a reality beyond her own. "What kind of gift?" she asked, curiosity bubbling within her like the festival's joyful songs. He leaned closer, his voice lowering as if sharing a sacred secret. Belief is a powerful force. Today, as you offer your dreams up to the heavens, open your heart wide. What you give is important, but what you receive can be even greater. His words hung softly in the air, like the fragrance of blooming flowers. It stirred something in her spirit. She thought back to her prayer, a simple plea for joy and peace. Would that prayer bring something more than she could imagine? Suddenly a burst of laughter erupted from nearby children as they twirled in the sunshine. The infectious sound caused Mary to smile, then look back at the man. But he had stepped back, blending into the crowd. Where had he gone? A sense of wonder surged in her. Was he truly here, or merely a vision woven into this festival? With renewed spirit, Mary turned back to the space where they would send their intentions skyward. The scene before her morphed into a tapestry of bright colors and voices mixing in harmony, shaping the air like billowing smoke rising to the heavens. Here, at this moment, we carry our dreams, she spoke aloud, her voice gathering strength. Let us offer our deepest desires, our hearts and our hopes. Neighbors nodded, eager faces turned toward her. Soon more joined the circle, and she felt that familiar warmth embrace her once again. Together they spoke their dreams into existence, their voices a powerful chorus of longing and gratitude that elevated with each shared word. As the melody danced around them, she caught a glimpse of the mysterious man again, standing just outside the circle, watching with that tranquil smile. Did he hold a secret key in his heart? The dance spun faster, the children laughing even louder, and Mary felt her spirit lifted higher. A wave of realization washed over her. This festival wasn't merely about calling forth dreams, it was about community, connection, and the unseen forces that guided them in their quest for hope. But one question lingered, echoing in the depth of her mind. What would happen if they didn't just offer their dreams, but also opened their hearts to receiving a greater miracle, one that transcended their expectations? As her spirit soared, she sensed the day held more than celebration. It held the promise of revelation. Gathering her thoughts, she felt excitement pulse through her veins. What awaited in this festival of dreams yet revealed? In that moment, with curiosity ignited, Mary turned back to the vibrant square, fully aware that something profound was about to unfold. Would they be ready to embrace it? Mary took a deep breath, the energy of the festival wrapping around her like a warm blanket. She could almost hear the whispers of dreams rising into the air, mingling with the laughter and music. Each voice was a spark, a flicker of hope that illuminated the hearts of everyone present. "Let's close our eyes for a moment," she suggested, and a hush fell over the gathering. Eyes fluttered shut, and an air of expectation settled like morning dew upon the grass. "With our hearts aligned, let us send our dreams upward," she said softly. "Imagine each one as a balloon, floating higher and higher until it meets the sky." The circle seemed to breathe together in unison. Each participant held their dreams tightly, mingling their intentions until they were a shared current of faith. The sacred energy built, palpable and electric. In the stillness, Mary could almost sense the divine presence, the unseen force that connected them all. Was this the gift the man had spoken of? And then, as if in answer to her silent prayer, a gentle breeze swept through the square. It rustled the leaves overhead and kissed Mary's cheek. She felt a shiver of recognition, like a whisper from the divine, confirming her deepest longing for connection, joy, and transformation. "May our dreams find wings," she continued, her heart swelling with every word. "May they soar to the heavens where love resides. May we receive the blessings meant for us, and may we share them freely." A gentle murmur of agreement rose up around her. People were echoing her words, each voice weaving into the tapestry of hope. As they shared their dreams, one by one, she heard fragments of desires, healing for loved ones, new opportunities, and the courage to overcome fears. Each dream carried the weight of longing, but also the buoyancy of hope. Then amidst it all, Mary felt her courage surge. "What if we open our hearts to the unexpected today?" she proposed. "What if we trust that something greater may come our way?" An excited ripple traveled through the crowd, igniting faces with joy. People began to nod, their hearts responding to the call of possibility. This was a moment of surrender, surrendering not just their dreams, but their very need to control what happened next. Suddenly, a radiant warmth enveloped them, drawing their attention toward the sky. A golden ray of sunlight broke through the cloud cover, illuminating their small circle of faith. Gasps of wonder floated through the air as a hush fell once more. Eyes slowly opened to witness the beauty above. Mary felt tears prickle her eyes. It was a moment of divine affirmation, a sign, perhaps, that they were aligned with something higher. She could feel a pulse of excitement flutter through the crowd, a collective heartbeat echoing beneath the surface of what they dared to dream. As the music resumed and the dance began again, Mary felt intoxicated with hope. Could they allow themselves to truly expect the divine to work among them? In that moment, she spotted the enigmatic man again, nestled among the swirling dancers. His gaze bore into her, and she understood. He was a reminder that faith often comes cloaked in mystery. With every step in the dance, Mary felt the connection deepen. She understood that their faith would not go unrewarded, that whatever miracles awaited them depended on their willingness to embrace the unexpected journey. But still, questions lingered in her heart. If they could release their dreams and open themselves fully, what were the greater miracles they could receive? With excitement brewing, Mary tightened her grip on her hopes, ready to discover what divine wonders lay ahead. Would faith guide their next steps towards something profound? As the music swelled, Mary surrendered to the rhythm, her feet following a dance that seemed both familiar and otherworldly. With each twirl and step, the energy around her vibrated louder than any song, filling her with an unexplainable joy. The world beyond the square faded, and in this sacred moment, all that existed was faith and connection. Eyes shining with zeal, the people danced like leaves in the wind, their bodies learning the language of joy. Mary could feel the weight of their dreams transforming into something lighter, something almost ethereal. The air grew warm around them, thick with anticipation. It was then that she caught sight of the enigmatic man, his presence like a lighthouse guiding her through uncertain waters. He smiled knowingly, as if he held secrets untold, and for a brief moment she felt drawn to discover what lay within his gaze. Then the music shifted, softening, allowing a moment of introspection. It was as if the universe invited them to pause, to reflect not just on their dreams, but on the paths yet untraveled, on the questions that remained unanswered. Mary inhaled deeply, the fragrant scents of flowers and earth filling her lungs. What greater miracles await us? She pondered silently. Will we trust enough to let go? Echoed a voice beside her. Turning, she recognized a friend from the village, her heart filled with warmth. The woman's face was aglow with newfound clarity, as if she had seen a glimpse of the higher purpose they were seeking together. What if the unexpected leads us home? Expected. That simple inquiry hung in the air, profound in its simplicity. In a world that so often clung to certainties, here lay a beautiful paradox, that true faith demanded not just visions of grandeur, but the courage to invite the unknown into their hearts. As they shared their reflections, the circle became a tapestry woven with shared experiences, their laughter mingling with moments of vulnerability. Someone whispered how faith had helped him once, when the weight of the world felt too heavy. Another shared a story of healing, the kind that made hearts swell with hope. Every voice contributing to a divine melody. And in this sacred communion, Mary felt as if the boundaries that had long separated them, fear, doubt, limitation, began to dissolve. They were becoming more than a gathering. They were a community awakened by faith. Suddenly the man stepped forward, arms outstretched as the crowd fell silent. His voice rang clear, cutting through the vibrant energy surrounding them. Every heart carries a seed of divinity waiting to blossom. Are you ready to nurture it? With those words, Mary's heart raced. The invitation was clear yet daunting. To nurture a seed requires faith, patience, and trust. And in that moment, she realized that this was not just about them. It was about the ripple effects their faith could have on the world outside this square, a world that desperately needed light. What miracles can emerge if we surrender to the divine flow? Mary thought, excitement bubbling within her like the music that swirled around them. She felt a pledge forming within her heart, a commitment to embrace whatever awaited them, to hold faith like a candle against the night. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting lines of gold across the faces of the gathered, Mary understood that this was only the beginning. There was a divine narrative still being written, and she was eager to learn the unfolding chapters. What surprises awaited them on this path of faith? And would they read together the words, inscribed by grace? With anticipation swelling in her chest, she was ready to uncover the transformative power of belief. The festival was a glimmering promise of what was possible, but what would happen when night fell? Would their faith light the way, or would shadows cloak their dreams? As the last light of day surrendered to the embrace of night, a profound hush enveloped the square. The stars began to pepper the velvet sky, twinkling like promises made in silence. Mary stood still, her heart beating in rhythm with the pulse of the earth beneath her feet. The energy around her had shifted, holding the air thick with a mix of expectation and wonder. Is this when the true magic begins? She wondered, gazing at the gathering crowd, whose faces now glowed with a soft luminescence under the night sky. The flickering lanterns that encircled the square cast dancing shadows, each movement telling tales of faith and hope. Together we stand, united in the unknown, a gentle voice rang out, breaking through the quiet. It was the man who had captured her attention earlier, now stepping once again into the gentle glow of the lanterns. His eyes sparkled with wisdom, illuminating his features as he began to address the community. In this darkness, we invite the light of our hearts to shine even brighter. With that, the melody of the night flowed back, enveloping them like a warm embrace. The music surged, filling the space with rich tones that seemed to wrap around Mary like a beloved shawl. She felt herself lifted, her spirits soaring, the familiar joy returning to her veins. How incredible is it, she thought, that we can summon light even when shadows threaten to surround us. As she danced amid the gathering, laughter erupted around her, mingling with the music. Voices rose, each one a dedication to the night and the wings of faith that carried them. Someone began to chant a prayer, each word weaving into the fabric of their unity. May we be vessels of love and grace. May our dreams illuminate the way. Mary joined them, her voice rising in harmony. She had never felt so alive, so connected. With each word, she sensed the seeds of her soul beginning to germinate. Laughter echoed through the square, her heart brimmed with possibilities, and she knew she wasn't alone. As the celebration flourished, a cloud of uncertainty drifted through Mary's mind. What if shadows truly engulf us? She thought momentarily, finding that familiar fear creeping in. But then she remembered the words of her friend. What if the unexpected leads us home? Encouraged, she let go of her concerns, trusting in the divine plan unfurling before her. The rhythm slowed, and with it came a stillness that made room for reflection. What miracles had already bloomed in their lives? What paths had been forgotten? The man stood still, his presence commanding attention. "Let us now make a pact," he proclaimed, "to nurture our seeds and to lean into the mystery of faith. Are we willing to dive deep into the unknown?" Mary felt a shiver of anticipation dance along her spine, her heart answering, "Yes." One by one, her companions echoed the sentiment, the air around them growing electric with their shouts of affirmation. "Tonight we celebrate what is yet to come," he said, arms sweeping wide as if to encompass the very sky above them. Tomorrow is a canvas, waiting for our brushstrokes of faith. What masterpiece can we create? With that declaration hanging in the air, Mary's soul surged with excitement for the new day, dawning beyond the horizon. As they stood together, hands clasped in unity, she closed her eyes, envisioning a world where light overpowers darkness, where faith ignites hope, and dreams ascend like stars. But what awaited them in the dawn? Would they truly have the courage to step beyond their boundaries and embrace the unfolding adventure? With the flicker of lanterns illuminating the night, Mary knew the next chapter was approaching, destined to shift the very fabric of their lives. The air felt charged with divine potential as night unfolded its mystery. As the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon, the square transformed. The soft glow of morning bathed everything in golden hues, awakening life where shadows had danced moments before. Birds chimed in with praises, their melodies intertwining with the whispers of the trees. Mary opened her eyes, feeling the warmth of the sun kiss her face, and a deep sense of hope nestled in her heart. This is the day, she thought, her spirit ignited with anticipation. All around her, the faces that had glowed with lantern light now shimmered with the brilliance of the rising sun. Hands stretched, yawns punctuated the air, and laughter floated like petals carried by a gentle breeze. Each moment felt like an invitation to embrace the promise of new beginnings. The man from the night before stood in the center of the square, a silhouette against the dawn. With his arms raised high, he radiated a contagious energy that stirred excitement within the hearts of those gathered. Beloved friends, today we are witnesses to a new chapter. This morning we stand on holy ground, where dreams and faith unite, where hope takes flight. Mary's heart raced as she beheld the scene. She could feel the undercurrent of energy. It was palpable. Those words resonated deep within her, pulling at the very fibers of her being. It was as if every soul present understood they were part of something larger, a tapestry woven with threads of devotion and aspirations. "Let us turn our hearts to prayer," the man suggested, his voice cradling the gathering, encouraging them to close their eyes in reverence. "Together, we will invite protection upon us, and clarity in our purpose." Mary joined in, the rhythm of her breath aligning with the beats of collective faith. She felt an unexplainable connection, as if their hearts beat as one. With each word spoken, she envisioned a glowing shield encircling them, a divine embrace that promised safety. As they prayed for guidance and strength, a profound peace settled over her. "May we walk in light and love today." The chant cascaded over the congregation, echoing softly as they envisioned their dreams unfurling before them like petals blooming in the sunlight. "Each of us has a purpose," the man declared, excitement sparkling in his eyes. "Let us ask ourselves, what is it we truly seek? What small act can we do today to pave the way for our dreams?" Mary pondered, her spirit stirring with questions. What had she always yearned for? What little step could lead to something miraculous? The crowd buzzed with shared energy, each whisper of their intentions rising like incense towards heaven. "Reflect on your desires. Let them rise," he urged again, guiding them deeper into their thoughts. "When you give life to your dreams, the universe's response is immediate. Every intention you set today carries the possibility of divine manifestation." As she opened her heart to the possibilities, Mary felt an awakening. The seeds in her soul pulsed with eagerness, swelling with potential. "What if I dared to believe?" she mused silently, her heart pounding as hope danced in her veins like a flame flickering against the morning chill. Then the man raised his voice. "Ready your hearts, dear friends, not just for today, but for the journey that lies ahead. What we seek is already on its way." The crowd erupted into cheers, hands clasping one another in solidarity. Mary felt an unshakable connection To everyone present, they were not merely individuals. They were a powerful, vibrant family, bound by faith. But as the sun climbed higher, illuminating their faces, the air shifted with an electric tension. What awaited them in the hours to come? Would they embrace their dreams or let fear hold them back? In that moment, a new mystery lingered in the air as they prepared to step boldly into the canvas of the day, where brushstrokes of faith would create a masterpiece yet unseen. What unforeseen obstacles or divine opportunities might challenge their resolve? The sun continued to ascend, spilling brilliance into every corner of the square, each ray shimmering like glittering hope. Mary stood among the gathered, feeling not only the warmth of the light, but a deeper warmth igniting within her soul. Each heartbeat drummed with purpose as anticipation hung in the air like sweet incense. The man spoke again, his voice rising above the murmurs of the crowd. "Today," he proclaimed, "is more than just a day of dreams. It is a day for action. Let our steps be guided by love, and let us spread joy in the simplest of gestures." His enthusiasm was infectious, sparking a fire in Mary's heart that ignited a longing to live her faith in tangible ways. Mary's thoughts danced across her mind. A smile for the widow she often passed, a word of encouragement for the weary child at the market, a helping hand for the elderly neighbor. It all felt so simple, yet monumental. What small acts could stitch a beautiful tapestry of connection? Those deeds, she realized, were the seeds of her aspirations, waiting to take root in her life. The crowd began to shift, moving as a wave towards the edge of the square, where fresh fruits and handcrafted goods were laid out like offerings. Mary followed, her heart racing with excitement. Each stall they approached was alive with colors and scents that spoke of blessings. She felt the laughter of the children, the exchanges between neighbors, even the harmonious chats among artisans, each a sacred thread in the fabric of their community. "Remember, friends," the man called out, "the heart you carry is a wellspring for goodness. Be bold today in showing love. With every act of kindness, we set forth the potential for miraculous change." Mary clutched the small purse at her side, feeling the coins inside jingle like joyful bells. What could she offer today? She remembered the words, "What can we do?" and felt as if the heavens were urging her. Maybe just one small gesture could change everything. As they reached a stall overflowing with apples, she paused, noticing a young boy hesitating, eyeing a shiny red apple with hope in his eyes. His worn clothes spoke of need, while his wide-eyed wonder reflected dreams. A sudden surge of compassion filled Mary. With a smile, she approached the vendor. "Could I buy that apple for this boy?" she asked, her voice carrying the weight of an unspoken prayer. The vendor smiled warmly, nodding. Mary handed over the coins. The boy's face lit up like the sunlight breaking through the clouds. In that precious moment, she felt a wave of joy wash over her. It wasn't a grand act, but it created a ripple. The boy's glee echoed in her heart. "See how easy it is?" the man encouraged, watching as others too began sharing small moments of generosity. Laughter spread, joy blossomed, and soon the square was a symphony of giving and receiving. But then she noticed a scowl from a woman nearby, arms crossed tightly against her chest. Doubt and bitterness seeped from her like dark shadows, heavy on something pure. Mary felt her heart tug as she realized that not everyone shared the same lightness. Some carried burdens too heavy to bear alone. The man stepped forward, sensing the heaviness. "We are all on different paths here today. Let us embrace those challenges too. Sometimes it is not the joy that draws us closer. It is the hurt that unifies our spirits." Mary's thoughts raced. What could they do for her? As the crowd swelled with energy, she found herself wondering, how could she turn this moment of pain into an opportunity for ministry? What greater love awaited to unfold? As she pondered, the air shimmered with potential, and the sun glinted off the faces of those surrounding her. Each moment felt like a drop of divine mystery waiting to be released. What new revelations would arise from the simple connections being made today? And as she stood in that sacred exchange, she realized the greatest mysteries often lay not in the grand moments, but in the ordinary, waiting for a heart willing to respond. The day stretched into a tapestry of extraordinary moments as Mary stood immersed in the village square, heart racing with both purpose and love. The sun climbed higher, intensifying the glow of faith, and connection flowed through everyone. All around her, laughter and kindness wove intricate threads of community, brightening each soul who embraced the spirit of the festival. But Mary's gaze kept wandering back to the woman with the crossed arms, the one surrounded by shadows of doubt. Her heart ached with the need to reach out, to invite healing into this moment. Sensing the stirring of her spirit, she took a deep breath, allowing the warmth of the sun to wash over her. "Can I speak with you?" Mary approached the woman slowly, as gentle as the whispers of the wind. Startled at first, the woman's guarded expression softened slightly. "What do you want?" she asked, suspicion mingling with fatigue. Mary's heart raced. "I want to understand," she said softly. "What weighs you down? We're all here to share joy and dreams. You don't have to carry it alone." The woman hesitated, eyes flickering with vulnerability, before the shadows swallowed her whispers. "It's just... life has been... hard," she finally confessed. "I see everyone celebrating, and I wonder why I can't feel that joy." In that moment, Mary reached out her hand, an olive branch of understanding. "Can I share with you what has helped me?" she asked, her voice gentle and sincere. The woman studied her, a mix of skepticism and curiosity painting her features. Finally, she nodded. Mary shared her journey of struggles, prayers, and the miracles that followed. "I found strength in community, in allowing others to lift me up. There's a power in vulnerability," she said, eyes shining with hope. With every word, Mary noticed the woman soften, shadows lifting slightly as they conversed. They shared stories, dreams mingling with scars, creating a sacred space where healing began to take root. Around them people danced, laughter intertwining with music, yet in that moment the world felt still. Mary sensed how important connection was, how it breathed life into the very fabric of faith. As their sincere exchange unfolded, a light flickered within the woman's eyes. Maybe I can try," she murmured, a spark of bravery igniting. Mary smiled, filled with joy. "You can, and we'll walk this path together. You don't have to be alone anymore." The woman nodded, the warmth of community beginning to seep into her heart. And then, like a divine orchestration, the festival's energy shifted again, a sense of celebration wrapped around them like a sacred cloak. Children giggled nearby, carrying the very spirit of joy. Vendors exchanged gifts, and neighbors shared laughter, their voices rising as a symphony of life echoed in harmony. Mary gazed at the square, realizing each smile shared was a stitch in the larger canvas of their existence. It was glorious. They were no longer individual threads, but an intricate woven masterpiece of love, dreams, and resilience. The man stood before them again, his presence elevating the atmosphere with reverence and encouragement. He addressed the growing crowd. "Friends, you are the light in each other's lives. Let today be a reminder that in unity there is strength, and in hope there is transformation." As the sun-filled square erupted into cheers, Mary's heart surged with gratitude for her community, for each story intertwined like a river flowing toward a glorious ocean. With a clear voice, she lifted her hands, inviting all to join her prayer of gratitude. "Thank you for this moment, for the trials that brought us here. Let us embrace the blessings of the day, not only for ourselves but for every heart that wishes to be touched by love." As they bowed their heads together, Mary could feel the outpouring of dreams, love, and anticipation for what lay ahead, a shared journey ready to unveil itself. May we be filled with divine protection. May our dreams align and manifest as we journey forward. She felt the waves of collective longing surge in response, and in that sacred pause, the world felt alive, a pulsating heartbeat of faith reverberating through every soul gathered before her. Every prayer sent upward felt like fireworks lighting up the night sky, a promise of divine intervention etching itself into their lives. That day marked the beginning of transformation, a demonstration of faith in action, rippling across their village. With hearts on fire and spirits ignited, Mary and her community stood united, ready to embrace tomorrow's miracles and the love that was continually unfolding before them. As the sun set on their festival, a deep peace settled in Mary's heart, knowing they had birthed something beautiful together. In the days to come, she would share her story with renewed purpose, knowing that true miracles arise when hearts open wide and love emanates forth. With that truth highlighting her spirit, she turned to the radiant day fading into twilight. A fitting end, she thought, to a day where every moment was touched by the divine. Now let me tell you, you need to subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories. This is the moment to show your support by leaving a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and testimonies about the ending, and don't wait even one more second to share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. God's love is too powerful to keep to ourselves.